with all the latest football news and discussion from the football world. this is this is Football Central. And go.
Hello everybody and welcome to Football Central for live and exclusive build-up of Manchester United v Arsenal, the fixture arguably of the season so far. With me today, as ever, is TubeMix.
Thank you.
And today we have a very, very special guest. You've not seen him for a while. He's had an injury on the table. He's been on the treatment table for the last few months, but he's raring to go again. He's as smooth as a Rolls Royce on and off the pitch. His football knowledge is second to none, and we welcome him back as the manager throws him straight into the starting lineup. Will he last the full 90 minutes? We will see. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round, boys and girls. Please give a round of applause for Ben Carney!
You're right.
Welcome back, mate.
Yeah,
Good to have you back, Ben.
It's good to be back. It's been a while, hasn't it? But hopefully now I can do
How's your hammy?
it's on the mend. It's on the mend.
Yeah. The hamstring tweak, and then it turned into a tear, but he's back and raring to go.
Yes,
So,
I couldn't tell you the last time I did one, to be honest, but it's good to be back.
it is, and let's hope he's on fire, because his knowledge is better than all of ours put together. So, and
Definitely better than my knowledge.
anybody's knowledge is better than yours, well. Let's be honest. Well, I was so excited because obviously things have gone backwards a bit again with what's happened over the last day or so. So to have Ben back with us is just absolutely fantastic.
It's
so
great.
Welcome back, pal.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I thought I'd had to come back and start doing them again, so it's good to be back.
The man, the
Good,
myth,
good.
the legend.
Well,
And it's a good game to come back to, obviously.
It is. You
Yeah.
pick your games. It's a mouth-watering clash. That is for sure. So, without further ado, I think it's time to pass over to TubeMix, as it is his channel. So I'm sure he's got an agenda with his rubbish scripts he has that never works. But there you go.
We won't say about that.
Thank you very much, Sam, and yeah, great to have you back, Ben. It's brilliant, and let's pray you'll be able to make more of these.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Yep,
Hopefully, anyway, that's the plan.
yep. Pray,
Before we get-
everybody.
Before we get into the games, into today's game, lads, I just want to do a quick shout out to JLI Wheels, who as Ben's come off the treatment table, JLI Wheels has gone on the treatment table,
Yep.
and he's not feeling very well at all. So shout out to you, JLO. We're all
Absolutely. Get well soon, Jord.
Get well soon, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, and he's here on the chat as well.
Keep those questions coming in. We need them. Make sure you look at them today, Will.
Yes, well, it's a balancing act, isn't it? Because obviously sometimes I have to look at the team news. I can't. Well, yeah, I'll try.
Did you not
Good,
look
good.
at them, Will?
He doesn't always look at them.
Well, because if I'm looking at other football news, I can't always look at the chat as well. So.
Yeah, but you don't look at them throughout the whole 2 hours that we do.
Sometimes I do forget, but.
Well.
So anyway, thank you very much, Sam, and great to have you back, Ben. And yes, it's another Football Central where, as Sam said, we are building up to a mouth-watering clash of Manchester United v Arsenal. Obviously, I'm sure you'll probably think back to the days where this was one of the biggest rivalries. You think the Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira incidents and stuff, those two were especially footballing enemies on the field. Yes, so let's see who's in the starting lineup today, because team news is in. So we start with David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, then it's Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire. It's looking like a centre backs. Luke Shaw at left back, Fred, McTominay and Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, and Mason Greenwood. On the bench is Edison Cavani, Juan Mata, Dean Henderson, Nemanja Matic, Brandon Williams, Donny van de Beek, and Axel Tuanzebe. And for Arsenal, it's...
The dog's barking, sorry.
Hey, what was that?
The dog's barking, I have to put it on mute 2 seconds.
Oh, and for Arsenal, it's Bernd Leno in goal. Rob Holding is back. I didn't expect that. With Gabriel and Tierney, Hector Bellerin, Mohamed Elneny, Thomas Partey, Bakayoko, however you pronounce his name, Saka, Willian, Alexandre Lacazette, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. On the bench is Dani Ceballos, Alex Runarsson, the goalkeeper. I'm not sure you pronounce his name. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Nicolas Pepe, Mustafi, Eddie Nketiah, and Granit Xhaka, and that completes your lineups.
Oh, excellent. Well, where's Martial? Is he injured?
He's still suspended.
He's suspended.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, I forgot about that. What do we make of the lineup, boys? The United in particular.
I mean, obviously,
Good, pretty much, I think.
In the midfield, he's obviously gone with Fred and McTominay as still starts, because I think that's the one he trusts. That's the partnership he trusts the most, and that's the partnership he thinks can get the best out of the likes of Bruno Fernandes. But I'm excited that Greenwood started again. He obviously played well against Leipzig. I would have liked to see Cavani, but all in all, I think it's a lineup that can get the win. To be honest, I think Thomas Partey will be solid for Arsenal. But I think we can get the win. Because confidence is quite high at the moment. Since getting hammered by Spurs, we've done the basics well and confidence is quite high, so I think we can get the win.
Now,
Yeah, I mean, it's sorry, TubeMix to cut
oh no,
across you
no,
there,
no,
but
that's fine. That's
just
fine.
just backing up Ben's point. It's interesting with United in particular because you you don't know who you don't know which side's going to turn up. You know, I believe not that I've watched much of the Bundesliga, but I believe that Leipzig are top of the league, aren't they? So to
Yes,
beat them
the
5-0
Bundesliga, yeah.
and then beat PSG like we did. But then, you know, the game against Chelsea, I know you were busy staring at your cat, Will, but it's,
I
you
had to
know,
really battle to keep watching that
he
game.
found the game boring then, so apparently when he finds the game boring, he stares at his cat. But,
What the hell, Will? What? Poor cat.
I know.
I'm joking.
I had to really battle to watch that game.
But we are very much. It's very interesting to see which United side and Arsenal do it. So, think from a United perspective, which United side will turn up. You know, the one that we've seen in the Champions League, or the one that we've seen in the league so far, which has been very hit and miss, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And just to expand on that, I was saying that to Will just before you came onto the call, and also not only that, it depends what system Arsenal play to and how they play it, because I think a key with United is like take PSG and Leipzig for example, because we were the away team, we could play the system to the max, and it depends how Arsenal set up too, to see if we can play it like that again. And also with United, another key is start quick with a high tempo, because especially in the Premier League this season, I've noticed they tend to let games drift, and if they do that, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think because they're both attacking because they're both quite attacking teams with attacking players, and obviously the two quality teams in PSG and Leipzig, you know, semi-finalists of the Champions League against the finalists last season, so there's no mug, but do you think that we struggle against teams that maybe sit back? I'm not saying Chelsea are a quality team, but they were quite happy to, you know, to soak up the pressure. Where these bigger teams, obviously, against us, will have the players to go forward against us, and we can hit them on the break. Where when we saw it against Palace opening day of the season. Now I know we weren't fit as such, but I just feel sometimes with United, when we play well, we play great, but we don't really have a plan B. You know what I mean? It's sort of, we either break well, counter attack well, and that's it. You know, and sometimes we can control possession without doing anything with it. So,
I think I agree with that, and I think when before Bruno Fernandes came, we only had one way to play, and that was sit back and counter, and now
Yeah.
he's coming. We've adapted a play style a little bit, but I still think sometimes, depending on who we play, obviously you have to adapt. But I do think that needs work because, like you say, Palace. Granted, we might not have been fit, but I think that goes back to starting quick and their game plan too, like you said. But like teams like PSG and Leipzig aren't a problem for us because they have the players to attack and want to attack, whereas teams like, I don't know, Palace, Newcastle sit back and break, and it's about finding a way to break them teams down, and I think that's our next step.
I think for United to go from a good team to, and I don't think, out of Europe, I mean, United are a massive club, one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the world. But I think we're just a good team at the minute. We're not, we're not a great team, if we, what we've had. So
Yeah,
I think that's right. I think for us to go to the next step, there's got to be a balance. And I think Arsenal, if we're not careful, could jump ahead of us because in terms of their development, because they seem to have an identity that they play to. Um, and I'm still trying to search for what United's true identity is. I get a bit confused sometimes, but I think that's been a problem with United over the last, 7, 8 years is since Fergie left, because we played well in some games, but we're so inconsistent, and the top sides are the most consistent sides and can win in many different ways, and I don't think we have that many strings to our bow, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, I agree. Talking about the likes of Arsenal now, I think at the moment, what I will say is, I think you are right in what you say, but for me personally, I I agree with you on what you're saying, but out of the managers since Fergie, under Ollie, this is the most I felt in terms of like where the club is gonna go. This is under Ollie, I've been convinced the most out of him, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho. I've been convinced the most by Ollie, but I do think you are right.
Yeah, I mean, I know Will. I don't know if TubeMix wants to get in on this. Just so you know, Newcastle won 2-1. Everton scored in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was checking that out a bit.
But I know that TubeMix sometimes feels that Ollie sits on his chair too much and is not vocal enough, and I have to agree.
Yes.
I do think he spends. It's ironic because we're wheelchair users and we do a lot of this, but he spends too long on his backside, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Take his chair away, and then when he goes to sit down, he'll fall.
Well, that's what they've been missing. Obviously, taking his chair away.
Okay, maybe that's a bit over the top.
But yeah, I agree. But specifically moving on to today's game, for us, with touched on this just, and it's interesting to get your thoughts as well before we touch on this, and that is, I'm quite confident for today's game because it's because Arsenal are not a setback and defend as such team. They will come out. They will come out and want to play football in stages. So that's where I think we can pick them up.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, Arsenal, you know, they do that penetration. I think when Aubameyang's not on the ball, you stop a lot of their threats. I'm not seeing enough of Partey. Obviously, I saw him at Atletico Madrid, but you've got to start a player with a clean slate when he comes to a new league almost. So you know he's untested at this competition. So, but I'm sure it's the type of player Arsenal need. They've not filled that void since Vieira left. Really, they've had a lot of technically good players, but they've all been similar. You know, you think of Wiltshire, you think of Santi Cazorla, you think of Ramsey, you think of Ozil, all great players, but in the same team, they've not had that person, that Claude Makelele, Kante, Vieira type player.
Yeah.
And now they might have that, but one player, as we saw with Bruno, I mean, when Bruno came in, he had a massive impact, and Bruno's a great player, don't get me wrong, but he lifted everybody beyond what they're, beyond, like, they over-excelled in some ways, and now he's still a great player, but the team's come down again a bit, so it'll be interesting with Arsenal. I mean, United and Arsenal used to be the fixture, didn't it, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that has sort of been taken over by Liverpool and Man City now, in the last couple of years. But it's a classic, and I don't know what TubeMix's view is on the match, but
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm thinking, you know, obviously for Arsenal, it'd be good news having Rob Holding back, along with Tierney and Gabriel in a back three.
You see, well, Arsenal fans think Rob Holding is a plus for them, maybe he is, but they've got a lot of defenders, and each and every one of them doesn't fill me with confidence, but carry on, Will, because you were talking.
Gabriel's good from what I've seen of him. What? Jordan's just messaged, tell Will to check the YouTube chat, which I've been doing, Joe, but just we'll come there. Okay, so two things. So we'll come back to the game in a moment, but Jordan's put two things on. First of all, thoughts on Bobby Charlton being diagnosed with dementia. Came the news today, which was quite a shock, especially so soon after Nobby's passing.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on this again, Will, before you came, Sam. And I was saying, obviously, it's not been a good week for the United legends.
No.
He's a legend, won the World Cup.
Yeah, with England, yeah.
And obviously it is sad news, but he's a fighter. So.
That's a shock. I didn't know that. But first I've heard of that. So he's not got Alzheimer's, but he's been diagnosed with dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sad news.
Tis, yeah.
Yeah, but he's a legend of the club. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely.
He's obviously
And oh, sorry.
Won a World Cup too.
Yeah.
So,
And what was the European Cup? You know.
yeah.
Yeah, and you know, also I think it says something about Sir Bobby. You know, he clearly had a big connection with the club, and he loved the club because he's obviously been on the board, and you often see him with him and his wife. You know, quite a few times at matches. So yeah, I mean,
lots of love to the Charlton family. If you are watching, Bobby, I don't know why you would be, but you are.
they won't be watching.
If you are, then best wishes to you, buddy, and we're all
Absolutely.
thinking of you. And also to Nobby, who was inspirational, very hard tackling midfielder.
Yeah.
You know, played in the base of the England side. Thank you for everything you've done, and my thoughts are with your friends and family. And I know this isn't football related, but you know, obviously Sean Connery this week as well.
Gosh, yeah, the first James Bond and legend.
Yeah, legend, and also what's his name, Ball.
Oh, Bobby Ball, yeah, of Cannonball,
Ball.
yeah, the comedian.
Yeah, so I know that's slightly out of the football related world, but I think it's important to pass on our respects from Football Central to all these legends that have
absolutely, especially as I enjoyed Bobby Ball in his 3 guest appearances in Last of the Summer Wine, and he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, obviously, it's been a bit of a shock, these big names dying all at once, not just for sport, but their legacy will go on forever.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, salute to all of them, you know, because, yeah, especially because, you know, Jack Charlton, he passed away. Didn't
that was a few months ago now, wasn't it? But his brother, Bobby's brother.
Yep.
His older brother, isn't he? Isn't he older, Jack? Wasn't he older?
I think Bobby might be the older one.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, okay.
But sort of to bring it down light relief again, Jordan has also put as somehow his beard is coming along.
Oh, yeah. So in case you don't know, me and Jordan are doing November. We don't know if we're doing it for charity yet, but I've decided to do it. So my beard, well, I've not really got one because I had a shave yesterday as it was the end of October. But for the next month, I'll be coming hairy. George's already got a head start, so I hope you shaved yours off yesterday, so we started even. Because if not, I'll be deducting points. No, anyway, it's just for a bit of fun, and maybe we'll do it for charity as well, because it is for a good cause. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, just before we get back to football, you know, charities, you know, it's they need a lot of help at the moment, so.
Yeah, Jordan also just texted me saying, tell Will to text I don't know what you're doing, but he's also texted me to tell me to sit down.
Well, yeah, well, there you are, Jordan. Hopefully you're enjoying this, and yeah, we eventually got round to the YouTube chat, but you know, I'm also checking around some of the other scoring results, so it'd be sort of coming back and looking, and then just going in and out basically.
How long do you think it'll be till? This is a question to you, lad. Getting back to the game. How long do you think it'll be till United and Arsenal can realistically challenge for the league again? It's difficult to say, but
Oh, blimey, that is a question.
Do you know what? I mean, I'll answer this in the second part of what I'm going to say, but the first part, obviously, I don't expect us to win the league this season. That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, this season, I don't think it's going to be...
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, lads.
I don't think it's going to be your normal season.
Sorry.
I think we'll have a few surprise packages, you know. But to answer your question, I think both teams are in a similar situation with their vision and squad. But I think for Arsenal it was a biggie keeping Aubameyang, although I don't think they utilise Aubameyang that well, to be honest. But I'd say I'd put United ahead of Arsenal, to be honest. I couldn't tell you when, but what I will say is I'd put United ahead of Arsenal to win it.
So just to pick up on your point there, Ben, to ask you another thing, you said you think it might be a surprise, a surprising table. Are you suggesting that there'll be another Leicester type situation, or do you think it'll be one of the big six that do win it, with maybe a couple of the what we call lower teams making up the top four, or do you think that one of them could come through and win the league, or what?
Well, obviously, take for example Everton. They started well. They've had good results, but granted they lost against Southampton and Newcastle today. I think their balance in midfield is very good. They fought well. I think they'll be challenging for the top 6, possibly top 4. Who knows with Van Dijk getting injured? I think one of the top 6 will win the league, but Van Dijk for being ill, getting injured, that's obviously a big loss for Liverpool. Obviously, they're not too reliant on him anymore. They found new ways, but Aguero injured again. Will that play a part?
And also they've got Jesus out, haven't they?
Yeah, Jesus too. I think it will be one of the top 6 winning it. Like I said, I don't think there'll be another Leicester. Although Leeds are doing quite well, and Wolves and people like that.
Leeds are exciting. I'm looking forward to watching Leeds tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'd be a good game tomorrow night.
Who are they playing?
Leicester.
Oh, yeah, that should be a good one.
But yeah, to wrap up my point, I do think it'd be the top 6 side winning it, but I don't think it will be as comfortable as it has been for the past 2 or 3 seasons.
I've really enjoyed. I don't know about TubeMix, but while I do, I know I know you probably want to pick up that you've really enjoyed the start of the season, haven't you, TubeMix? As a season with
Oh
all the
yes, I
teams.
mean, the amount of goals going in, it's been brilliant, and good to see Leeds back, especially as I can't really remember the last time they were in the Premier League. So really good to see Leeds back. Yeah, it's been a great season. Let's just hope we have more goals going in. Because it's brilliant.
There's
Right.
something just quickly, sorry, TubeMix. It's something we discussed on this show, and I'd like to get Ben's opinion on it. Obviously, pre-seasons were cut short and stuff like that. But why are we seeing so many goals? Why, like, and not just so many goals, but some of the defending been comical, you know. What do you have any reasoning why that might be? Or,
I think it's a mental. Oh, sorry, Ben. Apologies.
Do you want to go first or me?
No, you go first, mate. Yeah.
The only couple things I can say is that obviously, like you say, pre-season's been cut short, and that leads to a lack of fitness. Although teams are getting back up to speed with that side of things. I think there's so many goals side of things. Obviously, football makes fans. I mean, fans make football, so we all know that. We all think that, but I think sometimes, not having the fans there takes pressure off some teams. Obviously some teams will enjoy the pressure, but I think it just might relax them a bit more to actually just go out there and play football.
so sorry, well, I know you wanted
No,
to
that's fine.
add something, but just to add that, I mean, there's a thing in sport. I watched the French Open tennis a few weeks ago, and there were a lot of semi-finalists on the men and women's side that you hadn't heard of, and they got to the latter stages of the tournament. And the point bringing it back to football is, do you think the lack of fans, like when you go to these big stadiums like Old Trafford, like the Emirates, like Ellen Road, like all the big teams, and you're a smaller side, do you think the fans can almost be intimidating because there's so many of them? And actually, the fact that there aren't fans makes it more of a level playing field.
Yeah, well, just I'll be quick on this one, Will, because I know you wanted to say something. But just picking it up, you said makes it more of a level playing field. I think that has something to do with it too, because without the fans, obviously, there's not really an away game as such. So
Yeah.
I think players can go to like a big daunting stadium and be relaxed, because at the moment there's no really away games, isn't it? So that's
Go on,
what I
Will.
think.
Yeah, I think it's a cross between two things. So, yes, obviously no fans, but also not having the proper pre-season, mentally. If you're a footballer and are used to that, I think. So that's what I think.
Well, yeah, I agree to it, a certain extent, but especially teams like United and City, And I know they were given an extra week off, but they were playing in Europe till what was it, August? So I know fitness fitness is an issue, but it sort of counteracts that because some people would say it's about fitness and some people would say, well, it shouldn't be like that because they were playing until August, you know. So
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with all those points. I think it's no coincidence as well that the that the home victories are the lowest they've ever been in the top flight. I think Premier League or First Division when it was the old First Division. And I think
yeah,
that just backs it up now.
yeah.
It's a weird one, isn't it? I think.
Well,
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, there's been the most goals scored, obviously, but Rose, how do you see today's game going then?
well,
Sorry, what do you say?
I said, how do you see today's game going? Like, where's it gonna be won and lost?
Oh, probably the defense for me. I think. Yeah,
Well, yeah, both defense, sorry, um, have a few mistakes in them, man.
yes,
So maybe, but I think for me, the midfield, uh, for me, any game is won and lost in the midfield. Really, it's about which midfield can can get on the ball and dictate the tempo for their side, and then that dictates it for the rest of the game. You know, I was saying before about Ollie picking McTominay and Fred again, and I said, um, I think those are the two midfielders. I know Pogba's in there as well, but McTominay and Fred, those are the two midfielders at the moment that
they've been brilliant.
he trusts the most to bring out the best in like the likes of Bruno Fernandes. So I think the midfield is always where it won and lost for me. I don't know what you think, so.
VAR. No, let's hope not. No, but it could be. It's a consideration we have to take.
VAR is a load of bollocks.
But but um, but no, I think particularly in top. I mean, let's be honest. The game can be won and lost in any area of the pitch, particularly if it's tight. But generally, the midfield, I agree with Ben, wins the game. And then if the midfield are even and cancelling each other out, then it can be a mistake or a good bit of play. But generally, particularly in these big games, about the midfield there, doing their jobs. So yeah, I mean, what formations have we got today?
Well, the BBC Sport website was saying it was a back three or something for Arsenal.
Well, yeah,
All right, okay.
that's the formation Arteta seems to trust the
Yeah.
most. So I do think it will probably be a back three for them, but he's shown that he can adapt, so it's something to keep an eye on. But with United, I get I don't know what formation really. I imagine it's probably the same, because at the moment, like I was saying about McTominay and Fred, and Ollie trusting them the most. I think the formation we've been playing at the moment, that's the formation he trusts to get the best out of us too. So I can see it being the same, to be honest.
Oh gosh, John's put a picture of himself. Ooh,
Yeah,
God.
his beard is off. He's shaved it off.
It's a 4-3-1-2. I think we're playing with obviously the midfield three, then Fernandez pushed up, and then Rashford and Greenwood up top.
See, I don't know when we've got two sitters like McTominay and Fred, why Pogba ends up going so deep. Because if you've got two there, Pogba's at his best when he plays further forward. So for me, Pogba should be playing alongside Bruno Fernandes and interchanging with him and running into the box and
Yeah,
making late runs like Paul Scholes used to do, and dictating play that way with
yeah,
Fernandes. But he always seems to play deeper, and I don't think he's good deeper. And also, he doesn't really need to play deeper. I get if him and Fernandez were just playing as a two, one of them would have to do it. But when you've got Fred and McTominay there, why play him so? Why does he play so deep? It really frustrates me.
yeah, no, I agree, because you think back to his Juventus days, obviously the Premier League is a more challenging league, so you have to adapt. But when it was at Juventus, there was Pogba, Pirlo, and Marquezia, and he used to play further forward. Now, some people argue his stats are better at United, and they probably are. But in terms of getting the best out of him, I agree. I think he should
But look when he
play.
plays for France. Now I know he has Kante behind him, so obviously that helps. But he dictates and he's allowed. He's got to be given three for a free roll across that midfield, as Fernandez has in some ways, to get the best out of them both. When there's a four in midfield, you've got to do that. Particularly when you've got two defensive minded players there, in McTominay and Fred. It's I just think sometimes we're a bit static. There's not enough movement. The football's all about, particularly the attacking players. All right, your back four need to stay in a good line, and your two defensive midfielders. Well, the attacking midfielders and wingers, come strikers, need to rotate, need to move and be fluid, and particularly if they've got the right base behind, with the back line and the defensive midfielders. So I don't know, and I think he's the wing. We don't. I think the best way to get around sides, particularly blocks, is to knock the ball from one wing to another and get them moving. But everything with United seems to be through the middle,
Yeah,
um, or a lot of it, and it's just so predictable. In
Yeah,
my opinion, anyway.
well, it does. Obviously, just quickly, because the teams will be out in a minute, and I've got, just quickly, you've probably touched on this, but I don't know, because I haven't. This is the first time I've done it in quite a while. But what's your opinion on Van de Beek? Like, why do you think he's not getting game time?
I think he's played quite well when it's
Yes, I think
when
so.
he's coming on. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a bit like, obviously I don't think you can have Pogba, Fernandez and Van der Beek in the same team, but we play enough games for them all to get shared time.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand why. If I was him, I've just been brought for £40 million and think, well, I played quite well when they've come on. It's not like I've done anything wrong. He scored on his debut, didn't he, in the league? When we lost to Palace, and he scored the goal.
Yeah,
Oh, we did, yes.
So you know, he's done that. I think he's done well with the limited time he's had to impact games. So,
Yes, I think so as well.
We don't see him in training, do we? And we don't, we don't we don't know where exactly what goes on. But if I was him, I'd be pretty miffed off. To be honest, I'm not saying he should start every week. I'm just saying he's hardly had a kick.
I wish they'd get rid of. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm quite fed up of Pogba, and I wish they'd get him out now.
Yeah, no, I don't know what Ben thinks, but I get the sense Ben's a big fan of Pogba, and on his day he's great, but
He turns up whenever he likes.
I think we should get rid of him.
But I disagree with that. I won't go into it because the players are coming out now, but I'll go into it another time. But I disagree with that. I think Pogba's quite important, but well, just quickly on Van der Beek, I agree with everything you said, but he's been brought in obviously for the quality of the player, but for depth as well. But anyway, the teams are coming out now, so just quickly, what's the score gonna be, do you think?
Oh, I'm going for 2-1 United, I think.
Yeah, I see the same. I hope Cavani scores today. Comes on and scores.
Yeah, 2-2 draw for me.
2-2 draw.
We'll have to see then.
Yeah. Oh, and Ben, are you available for post match or not?
Probably, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I am. Well, we'll do it. What is it now? Half four. So let's say about 7. Let's say about 7, shall we?
Oh right, yeah. Okay, 7 would be good, I think. And just before we go, Jordan's put, can't believe Everton lost today, and James Ward-Prowse world class today. I mean, James Ward-Prowse, scored 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah,
good player.
He's the best free kick taker in the Premier League for me.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Alexander Arnold.
Yeah.
Just quickly. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Sorry, Sam.
No, I just said better than Alexander Arnold, but
well, Ward-Prowse isn't a right back.
No, I mean free kick taker.
Oh, sorry.
My God.
Sorry.
I think so anyway. Alright then.
Right. Are we ready, Will?
Yep, so my thanks to Ben, Carney and Sam Taylor for your company. Thank you, boys. It's been a good one.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you, TubeMix.
See you later.
That's okay. And yeah, Ben, it's great to have you back, mate. We really missed you on this show, and we really enjoy. So it's been absolutely great to have you back, mate.
Yeah, it's been good.
Great to see you, Ben. Really is great to have you back, mate. We missed you, and it's been was looking forward to this more than any other show I can remember because I knew you were coming back. So I was really
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, it's been good. Like I said, hopefully I can do some more.
Yep. Let's pray. Let's pray. Anyway, if you want to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel, and we'll see you about 7.
Bye bye,
Okay,
everyone.
see you
Thanks,
later.
TubeMix.